again. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, the Fibonacci sequence. What number there is missing? Well, the number is 4. Every ancient culture, both Greek and Indian and Egyptian, said 4 was the number for time. Time does not exist. Now, of course, for empirical beings who have measure and volume and mass, yeah, a psychophysical composite being, of course, time is very real. Yeah, but time itself is not a thing. It doesn't have any substance to it. It is not part of ultimate reality. It is nothing other than a measure of magnitudes. Space has no properties. It only has attributes, just like a shadow. Shadow is not a thing. Shadow is an absence of light. Space is literally the after effect of a centrifugal divergent magnetic field. The notion of curved space-time is the reification of concepts to fit within the model of atomism. Yeah, this is dielectric acceleration, the exact same thing idiot scientists and human beings have been calling magnetic attraction for countless thousands of years, because we actually had lodestones that the Chinese and the ancient Greeks found, and who else knows what other ancient cultures. They're fascinated by lodestones. You actually break them off and they'd accelerate towards one another, and this notion of magnetic attraction has existed since time immemorial. But magnetism is by definition centrifugal force divergence. Okay? Yeah, centrifugal force in motion divergence. It is really the fundamental force vector of the entire universe. Gravity is not a thing in and of itself. It is an anti-field. The notion of curved space-time is an impossibility. It's like talking about bending unicorns or talking about leverage. These things don't exist. These are concepts created by human beings to give conceptual reification for discussion and for writing and for countless other things, for communication, to the empirical world of form and phenomenality. But time is not a thing at all. And space has no properties. There's no such thing as curved space-time. And then when I actually say stuff like that, people will say, well, what about when it was observed that the light from so-and-so star was curved? When we actually had an eclipse of the solar eclipse, we noticed that the light was curved. That must be bent space-time. No, it's not. That's an electrokinematic effect. Light is a coaxial circuit. The longitudinal rarefactions compressions along the dielectric, transverse electrical magnetic. I mean, what do you think is being bent? I mean, light is, of course, an energy packet. Photons don't exist. It's not a particle emission. It's dielectric acceleration of the coaxial circuit of light towards an extremely large gravitational mass. Non-point source mutual mass acceleration. There's no distinction between energy and matter when it actually comes towards dielectric acceleration. As far as the light being bent, not being bent literally because it's an ether perturbation, and of course the light doesn't move and it's not an emission from point A to point B, it's an ether perturbation. And the so-called speed of light is of course the rate of induction. It's the rate of induction of the ether against itself with a known force. It would actually be the ether torsion. The rate of induction is the ether torsion of the ether against itself in the case of the EMR, electromagnetic radiation, which is the